The House of Carrion. Once upon a hill there stood a little house made of wood, and in that house one did dwell, a creature birthed from pit of hell. Eyes that burned with rage and fire, his hunger gnawed, his need was dire. He had to feed on blood and pain, to sate the demon once again. For he carried deep within his soul a breach of darkness, an endless hole. No matter how many he may slay, the demon now was here to stay. So prepare himself and steel his will. He left that house upon that hill, and went to find a pretty treat, a dainty morsel fit to eat. He knew the place to hunt and wait, and there his prey would meet her fate. So wait he did within the dark, beneath the pines of Ashmore Park. Finally, his patience burning, he saw the one to quench his yearning. A tidy piece he mouthed to no one. Time, he said, time for some fun. He prepped his needle full of meds that made young ladies lose their heads, and stalked behind her, oh so close. He pricked her neck, one foul dose. Her eyes glazed over as she fell. He snatched her up, his gift to hell, and took great care as he departed. His ritual had now just started. He took her home upon that hill. The night was dark, the night was still, and in that little house of wood, the things he did, well, none were good. First he ripped off all her clothes, she'd have no further need of those. Then he taped her mouth shut tight, he'd have no screaming here tonight. Her naked body beneath his gaze, ripe and ready to rape and raise, then went about his task with glee, his madness finally set free. He tore and bit and raped her there, and ripped out chunks of auburn hair. Finally, his thirst now quenched, with his hands her neck now clenched. Her throat then crumbled in his grasp. I fed you now, his voice did rasp. He felt no guilt, no great sorrow. He dumped the corpse late tomorrow. He made himself a cup of tea, and watched the lifeless corpse with glee. As blood was pooling on the floor, he couldn't wait to catch one more. And there he sat in that house of wood, thinking things that no one should, for he knew he'd never have his fill within that house upon that hill.